Hey everyone, this is Workshop Live. Tony Chips here from Chiappetta Shoes. We have a B7 foot type custom orthotic from 22. We're doing a new set. Nice lady, had a knee replacement in early of 22, had some complications with it, made a custom orthotic in late 22. Orthotic's been doing pretty well. We're doing two new sets, a standard insert and then a slim orthotic for your dressier shoes and things like that. But we're sitting down talking a little bit today. We were reassessing her foot, and not really any major changes from late 22, so we're going to use the old molds. Now, a B7 foot type, it looks like a high rigid arch without any weight on there. But when a B7 foot type takes a step, the rear foot has a lot of mobility to it. So a B7 foot type on the quadristep foot typing system has a small forefoot valgus and a small rear foot valgus. So it's in and in, right? And when a foot like that takes a step, there's a relatively narrow gait. So from heel to toe, you're kind of walking nice and evenly. But normally, this type of arch has more rigidity in the rear foot. The arch is kind of rolling in. There's pronation. There's a lot of mobility. Looks like a high rigid arch, but when taking a step, full weight bearing, there's a lot of mobility. And it primarily comes from the rear foot alignment and midfoot joints. Now, B7 foot types, we're going to take you top down. We've had a custom orthotic with EVA polyurethane, THK, and then a cork compound, multi-cork. It's done pretty well for her. One downside on the left foot, she's developed a pretty significant hammer toe on that second toe there. We had a met pad on there. It was kind of like a larger standard met pad. We're gonna change things up a little bit. Today, what I'm gonna do is, because the foot's generally okay, she's not looking for anything in particular, she doesn't like to complain all that much, but we're going to just clean refurbish. I'm gonna change up the met pad. In my last video, I said not all met pads are made the same. There are 4 different kinds of met pads. This is a standard met pad with a little direction to it. We're gonna go with a standard met pad, but a little bit thicker. We're gonna remove this, clean them up. I'm gonna take you over to the grinder, 2 seconds. Follow me over here. So we have a set of orthotics from late 22. We're just going to do a quick refurb on them. The customer wants more orthotics. We're going to use the old mold from 11 of 22 because mechanically there hasn't really been any changes. When we look at the foot, we assign a foot type, quadristep foot typing system, over the course of 7 or less years. If there hasn't been any changes, we'll typically use the old molds. Now, when we do see a change, most commonly we're going to see a change in foot types, okay? Oftentimes it's weight issues, people get larger and the arches start falling. We'll see a change in the foot type when that happens. So that's kind of our signifier if we need to switch things up a little bit. So we're going to use the old molds. Now, when we're making a new set of orthotics, it takes us about 2 weeks to manufacture new sets. She wants 2 new sets of orthotics. And with the sets, we're going to do a standard insert and then a slim insert for her dressier shoes. You have 3 main variables. There are three main variables when you're making an orthotic. You have the overall thickness here. So the thickness from the top layers and considering the heel, typically you're at about a 0.5 millimeter extra at the heel just because of how the tapering is. So 3 main variables when you're making an orthotic. Thickness, wall height, how much it's coming up against the side. You only have so much space because you don't want to take up too much area inside of the shoe. The shoe is offering the wall stability. This is there for a little extra cupping. So overall thickness, wall height, and then the third main variable when you're making an orthotic is the base width, how much it's taking up at the bottom. If it's too fat, it's going to curl up on the inside of the shoe. So this area down here has to sit naturally inside of the area on the bottom inside of the shoe, the strobel board area. So that's the main factor. Now, take the top down again. What we're going to do here is we're going to shrink up this met pad. I want to get a little thicker and a little bit more focused. That gray piece that was on there before is about a 30 durometer EVA. That compresses over time, and this hammer toe's kind of popped up over the last year, so I don't know if that's been a factor of the old met pad kind of breaking down a little bit. She's very active. She says she likes doing yoga 3 to 4 full sessions a week, and she stretches, and she's very, very active. So, you know, in this situation, yeah, even if you're in great shape, weird stuff happens to the body and the feet. So that's what we're here for. We're the mechanics in the equation. So on this change, again, I'm getting a little bit more focused and dialed in. Now, we're going to hit more closer, up a little bit more. Second met, we got right here. Third, fourth, fifth, first. All right, boom. We're going to get a little bit farther forward, just a hair. Try to help offload that second hammer toe. The other thing that we're going to do, because this is a B7, should be a high arch, but there's a lot of mobility in the rear foot. I'm not going to do any medial wedging. That would be overkill. So if we're trying to over support the heel and ankle, it's not about that. It's more about just that medial arch. So we're going to do a standard medial scaphoid pad. And what I'm looking to achieve with that is a little bit more pronation control, midfoot stability. It's not that there's any abduction or adduction. We're just looking to provide a little bit more stability for that navicular bone. The old term scaphoid. Take it from there. Okay. So there's that. That's the new met pad. Now, when we're doing a scaphoid pad, a little extra arch, you can take that from 3 different places. You have the 5th met, remember, 5th met base, so right there. A standard scaphoid pad is right off that 5th met base. If you want more rear foot control, you can go behind there and kind of angle it farther back. If you want more forefoot control, you can do it more farther forward. Standard is right off that 5th met base. Not sure if you knew that, but now you do. The more you know, Pete, right? Yeah. Yes. All right. So with this scaphoid pad, we're not going to wrap up against the side. It's not about wall control. I'm not worried about the foot collapsing in. It's just that foot needs a little extra loving. So, okay. Copy this. And I would like to reiterate with everyone that is watching or will watch at any point, Chiappetta Shoes makes the absolute best custom orthotics in the whole country, because there's not one damn person that does anything like this, period. I'm doing these videos because if I die, I hope my children or somebody takes this up, but also for the industry, because most people don't get taught any of this shit, and it's super important. And it's simple mechanics. I pretty much taught myself all of this stuff, understanding materials, tools. I was lucky enough to be born into a business that had all of this, and my curiosity led me to where I'm at today. There's not enough curiosity in the world. You need to get better. So we're going to glue these puppies up. So again, the scaphoid pad, standard alignment. We are doing it's a blue multi-cork. I've said it multiple times on here. It's from JMS. It's J-cork. It's a 65 durometer. I like it because it's a little firmer compared to most other multi-corks out there. We're doing a little firmer cork It's only 1/8 of an inch, so it's on the thinner side. But we have THK, which is a thin thermoplastic we get from Forestali out of Italy, and then a multi-cork, that's a 55 durometer, firmest on the bottom. So we're going to take a break for a sec, and we'll be right back, folks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Chiappetta Shoes Workshop Live, B7 foot type. We have rigid, tough toes, a lot of bony areas, slightly flexible rear foot. We have mobility, narrow gaits, narrow gaits with the arch dropping down, toes clawing up, hammer toe situation on the lefty. So we have an existing orthotic that we are adding a scaphoid pad, and we're changing the met pad. If you looked at the beginning of the video, we had a kind of a more broad met pad. And we're doing a traditional met pad with a little bit of tapering. The main area is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th metatarsal heads that we're focusing on. And then we're also targeting the scaphoid area of the midfoot, looking at the medial arch, trying to build that up a little bit. So with this modification, this customer is getting 2 new sets of orthotics. Takes us 2 weeks to make a new set. Now when we're doing a new set, we're doing a modification here. When this customer comes to pick up this new set of orthotics, we'll have enough time to say, hey, this has worked out pretty well. Let's do the same thing on the new set, or maybe we need to switch things up a little bit. There are always options, and I am never always correct. My wife likes to remind me that quite often. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, you just got to try and take your best shot. And there's all different kinds of material and different things you can do. It's kind of fun. Take you to the grinder. We're just going to do the left first. All right. All right, first set done right there. Nice dialed in, a little bit thicker met pad. That's a 45 durometer EVA. A little bit more dialed in compared to what we had on there before. A little bit thicker, a little bit firmer. And we're adding this scaphoid pad in here too. So I think this is going to be a winning solution. We'll see what we can do with this combo here. And she's going to come in for 2 new sets. So I think we'll be in good shape once she comes in for those new ones. I'm going to take this to the grinder and get you guys rolling on your day. B7 foot type, old custom orthotic from end of 22, refurb, cleaned up, new met pad, dialed in, focused, hammer toes, flexibility. We're making it all happen. It's going to be better than ever. This has been Workshop Live. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day. Don't forget, ain't no better than Chiappetta. Ciao.